topic is objective-oriented programming. My name is Arun Kumar Gautam. I am Assistant Professor in Data Science Department of ABES Engineering College. Now we are going to start this series, and topic is objective-oriented programming using Python. There are some topics we will discuss. First is introduction to object-oriented programming in Python. Second is difference between the objective-oriented programming and procedure-oriented programming. Third topic we will discuss what is a class and object. Okay, so now we will take topic one by one. So this is first topic is in text is what is objective-oriented programming. As you know, objective-oriented programming is a way of computing programming using the idea of the object to represent the data and method. If we want to represent the data and method in a programming, we will introduce the idea of the object. Actually, this is called objective-oriented programming. Before going in the objective-oriented programming, all the data and method we will use by the object. It is also our approach used for creating the neat and reusable code instead of the redundant one. In the objective-oriented programming, we will use the code reusable, not redundant many times again and again. We will use this code reusable. In Python, objective-oriented programming is a programming that use object and class in the program. It means objective-oriented programming, we will use class and object in the programming. It aims to implement real-world entities like inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation in the programming. There are so many different type of real-world entities like inheritance, polymorphism and encapsulation, and we have some ideas that we will put of these topics and real-world entities in objective-oriented programming in Python. The main concept of objective-oriented programming is to bind the data and function that is work well together as a single unit. In objective-oriented programming, we will use the concept that we will make a single unit in which the function and object we will close together, and they will access the code in next part. Okay, in this slide we have gone through from what is objective-oriented programming. It is objective-oriented programming by using the class and object, and both are wrapping in a single unit. This will use code, and in this objective-oriented programming we will use reusable code. Okay, now it is a difference between the objective-oriented programming and procedure-oriented programming. There are some basic difference. Then we will discuss. Objective-oriented programming, it is a bottom-up approach, whereas in procedure objective-oriented programming is a top-down approach. In objective-oriented programming, the program is divided into the object, but in procedure-oriented programming, the program is divided into function. In objective-oriented programming, main use of excessive modifiers, protected and etc. But in objective procedure-oriented programming, we will not use this type of excessive modifiers. Objective-oriented programming, it is a more secure, but procedure-oriented programming is less secure. Object can be moved freely within the member function in objective-oriented programming, whereas procedure objective-oriented programming, the data can move freely from one function to another function in a within program. In the function, the data is moved from the function to function, but in objective-oriented programming, the object and data can be moved from the function to member and other member to other member, whereas the objective-oriented programming support inheritance and procedure-oriented programming does not support inheritance. What is the meaning of inheritance? Means A have link with the B, B have a link with the C, and A and B and C are interlinked with each other. That is a very basic difference between the objective-oriented programming and procedure-oriented programming. Now we have to go from other slide. The main concept of objective-oriented programming is class, object, polymorphism, encapsulation, inheritance, and data abstractions. These types are the main concept of objective-oriented programming. Objective-oriented programming is formed from the class and object by using some other real-type entities we have discussed before the slide, that polymorphism, encapsulation, inheritance, and data abstractions. Okay. Now, what is a class and object? What is a class and object? A class is a collection of the object, or you can say it is a blueprint of the object, defining the common attributes and behavior. Class is a collection of the object It means there are some class, they have some objects. It is called class object. Class is defined by the keywords, it's called class. But object is not defined by the object. It defined, you can maybe define other. Okay, this is example of the class 1. Class 1 is the name of the class. Now we are going to create a class 1. It means we have to create this class 1 by using the keyword class. Okay, so then class is the collection of the object, or you can say that it's a blueprint of the object, define the common attributes and behavior. Now we are going to detail in what is a class. A class is a collection of the object. Class is a collection of object, we have discussed already. A class containing the blueprint or prototype from which the object are being created. Where the object is created? From the blueprints of class. It is a logically entity that's containing some attributes and method. It means the class is containing attributes and methods. To understand the need of the creating a class, let us discuss the example. If you want to understand what is the meaning of the class, now we are going to start an example. Let's say you want to tackle the number of the dogs. That you may have defined attributes like breed, age. If a list is used, this first element could be dog breed, while the second element could be represent its age. The first element is represent the dog breed, second represent the age of the dog. Let's suppose there is a different type of the dogs. So how would you know which element is supposed to be which? What if you want to add the other properties to these dogs? This lack organization, it has been created the need of the class. It means you want to find the class, getting the information about the dog, means what is the dog breed and age of the dog. We have to create a class. Now what is the definition and syntax of the class? This is a class and class name. This is semicolon, this is a colon, statement number 1, statement number 2. It may be there as any statement. Okay, they type any statement. Now what is the object? What is the object? Objects in the entities that have the state and behavior associated with it. Means the objects have some state and behavior associated with it. It may be any real world object like mouse, keyword, chair, table, pen, etc. Integer, string, floating point number, even array, dictionaries, all are the objects. Objects mean they have some behavior and the state. It's called object. Like mouse, keyboard, chair, table, pen is they have some behavior and the state. Means chair is in the round form and we are using the chair for sitting. This is a behavior, and the state is they have some many structures like rectangle and round. This is called state. Many specific in any single integer or any single integer as an object. The number 12 is object and the string is hello world is an object. A list is an object that can hold other objects. So on, you have been using object all along, may not even realize it. It means objects have some behavior, they have some state, they have some behavior. It may be anything that you have. Okay. The object consists, there are so many things. The object, it means the class is a collection of the object, and objects have many characteristics like state, behavior and identities. It means objects have the 3 types of behavior, 3 types of things, characteristics maybe. First is state. State is represented by the attribute of the objects, and it is also reflect the properties of the object. Means what is the properties of the object, like a pen. Pen is we are using to write. This is a state. This is a property of the object. Behavior. It is represented by the method of object, and it is also reflect the response of the object to the other object. How one object will respond to other object, it is called behavior. Identities. It gives the unique name to the object and enable one object to interact with other object. If one object is interact with other objects, it have the unique name. It is enabled the object is called identity. It means object consists of state, behavior and identities. Now we have discussed only what is the object, what is the class syntax, class, and what is the type of the class. Now After completing the object, and object consists of the state behavior identities. Now to understand the state behavior identity, let us take the example of the class dog. Now we before in the starting of the class, we take the example of the dog, the age of the dog and breed of the dog, and we created some class for it. Now if we want use the object of the dog here, so how will we use? Okay, the identity can be considered is the name of the dog. If we define the name of the dog, like object of the class is D1. D1 is object of the dog. Now its identity is considered the name of the dog. It is identities. Okay, is the first part of the object. It's mean objects have identities, the name of the dog. Second thing, state or attribute can be considered as the breed, age and color of the dog. Mean this D1 have breed, this D1 is have age, this D1 have color. This is called state. Now behavior can be considered as the whether the dog is eating or sleeping. So now third part of the characteristic of the D1. D1 means object of the class of the name dog. The behavior can be considered as whether the dog is eating or sleeping. The eating and sleeping is the behavior of the dog. Dog means D1, which is object of the class dog. Okay. Now after completing the identities, attributes and behavior of the class, we have understood what is the meaning of the object. Thank you for this lecture, and we will discuss later.